So the networking issues. So the internet was not designed for these devices because, first of all, we used 32-bit addresses for IP, which obviously we cannot use for internet because it is not big enough. Then we used 48-bit for Ethernet and other MAC addresses, which was not big enough. And then we used 128, which is just too big, IPv6, which you cannot fit into these little devices and little things. So either way, all the addressing is all wrong size. And so there are protocols that have been developed to somehow adjust the address size itself. And so what they do is, in IoT, they use 16-bit local addresses and 64-bit global addresses. So this is neither 48, nor 32, nor 128, neither of them. 64-bit global addresses. So they feel that the 64-bit probably will take it to all the things in the world, and that's good enough. And then, of course, we cannot use 64-bit when we are using it inside a building or room or whatever. So inside the room, we just use 16-bit. Okay? And that's what you will see, that there are protocols that change from 16 to 64 to 48, 64 to 128, 64 to whatever you need to go to. And so there are protocols called 6LoWPAN, 6 to non-IP, and they worry about such things. And when you get there, we'll see it if we get there. All right, so these are networking issues. And the protocols to be different. So basically, the last mile protocol generally is 3G, 4G, 2G. The 100-meter protocol is generally Wi-Fi inside the home. And the last 10-meter protocol generally is Bluetooth, which is from the thing to your phone. Right? Some of you are wearing the watch. The smart watch. I am not. But if you are wearing a smart watch, that is talking to your phone using Bluetooth generally. Okay? So Bluetooth, this is the last 10 meter. All the body area network is Bluetooth. And I'm saying Bluetooth, I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with that because that is just one of the N protocols competing for that space. And we'll talk about them. So there are protocols for 10 meters, and there are protocols for 100 meters, and there are protocols for the last mile. There's a lot of competition in each range. The last mile is used by smart grid, smart cities, smart industries. Basically, in factories, when you have a big factory, the devices need to talk to each other, and that's last mile. Of course, smart cities and smart grid make sense. Last 100 meters is smart home, and last 110 meters is body area network. So what IoT is doing is machines versus humans. Everything that human used to do, now the machines can do. And so that's very good because now I don't have to do anything. Comfort. I can sitting here, I can turn off the light at my home. I don't have to run to my home. From here, sitting here, I can take care of my office. I don't have to walk around, right? That's very comfortable. But that also leads to the other side of the coin, which is I don't need anybody else either. So everything is done by machines. So all the jobs are going one by one. All the lower level jobs, for example, we don't need a cleaner, we don't need the washer, we don't need people who used to do the manual jobs before because machines can do them. Right? And that is going up and up. Actually, you can just download this slide, which is already uploaded. So you can just download it much easier from the website. And if I remember, I will print it out. But so they predict by 2018, here's an interesting thing I found interesting was that the business content will be offered by machines. So right now you are writing papers, I'm writing papers, and it is clear that machines can write better papers because they get the data, they generate the data, they analyze the data, they can as well write it as well. Because after we do it, we ask them to check it. When Microsoft Word checks my English, right, it might as well write it. Okay? So, so machines will write the machines will write the business content. Support calls will be coming from connected machines. A machine is calling, thermostat is calling saying that I am not doing well, please help me. So there is no human on this side. And the helping side, of course, there is no human because when you call, all you are getting is a machine there on the left side. Right? It says, well, I can speak good English, please talk to me. right? In complete sentences. So, so there are machine-to-machine talk going on, and they will recognize individual faces and voice. So when you call somebody, right now they recognize your phone number, but later on they can even recognize your voice and say, well, okay, Mr. Jan, how are you? 3 million workers supervised by a robot boss, and your boss may not be a human being, it may be a machine. And employees will record their health tracking devices. And right now, I mean, basically, employers want to make sure that the employees are safe. This is their responsibility that they are safe, but also healthy, which is not their responsibility, but it will be good if they are healthy or will be safe and things like that. So then you will be asked to wear those watches which you don't have right now. 50% of the fast-growing companies will have fewer employees than smart machines. So the number of people will be less than the machines. All right. Some of these numbers are too small, just to be sure. I mean, there's nothing to worry about 3 million workers supervised by a robot. There are 4 billion people. 3 million, is not much. Similarly, 2 million employees, it's not a big number. It's a very small number. But it's just the trend which is coming in is that the comfort comes with unemployment. All is comfort. And so so people are saying that the employment rate will not go down. Unemployment rate will not go down in the near future. It will just go up because we don't need people to do things. And this is particularly worrisome for the older people because younger people are going into new fields. The older people who are already trained to something, those are going away, and they have to be retrained, which is difficult. But anyway, this is the latest report, October 2015, top strategic prediction for 2016 and beyond. All right. So this is the effect of Internet of Things. That brings us to the summary. 99% of the things are not connected, and therefore this is a big opportunity for the industry. It's a big opportunity for the standards bodies, and it's a big opportunity for the academics. We are all working on it. It all started with smart grid and energy management. And by the way, everything in the world starts with 3 things: energy, environment, and health. Okay? Energy, environment, and health. So, those are the 3 things that the world is worrying about right now. And whatever you do somehow impacts those 3, you are in good hands. Smart grid and energy management are leading the change. Smartness comes from communication capability. So one thing you learned is that what people are worrying about is how can you communicate, not how you can compute. Compute is solved. We can go to the cloud and get it done. And computers are very, very fast, so it's not really a problem. Storage is very, very hard, very, very high level is available. I mean, I carry about 4 terabytes in my pocket, so it's not a big deal. All right? What is the problem is the connectivity. And so that's what we are working on. We are right at the knee. If you go back to that shape curve, that height cycle, we are right at the knee. Right now there are several research issues to be solved. Once those are solved, they become the startups right away. And then the startups can become, to take to the rest of the world. So hardware implementation, data analytics, security, networking, all of these are required. Computing everywhere, cloud computing everywhere leads to fast computing and multi-cloud computing. And so, that's why we are working on multi-cloud computing. All right, reading list. Please check if this slide is still the same, but it could be. But anyway, so this is a book which is 2012, Internet of Things, a Middleware Perspective. And then Internet of Things, the application and protocol, which is 12 again. Okay. All right. There are later books, but I put them here because they were not as good. So I think you are better off with the first 2. And all of them are Safari, so please read. If you have any questions, ask me.